All right, class is in session. Took a little break over the weekend, got a little sick, but recovering today, and wanted to put out some information and help those people out that are struggling with relationships or may struggle with a relationship in the future or prevent them from struggling with relationships. And I'm doing this by looking at criminal trials. And oftentimes I see criminal trials are not these weirdo people that live in weirdo land. It's our neighbors, and sometimes our neighbors that are doing their best to live a good life. Sometimes all the holes in the Swiss cheese align, and they find themselves in a bad situation. Not saying that they couldn't have prevented it, and that's why we study these things, right? But from these, the disasters, and just like airplane crashes, if we do a tactical debrief or whatever, we can learn. If we do a tactical debrief of this situation, we can learn a lot of things. And I will tell you, one of the main things I learned from this trial is the lack of male leadership. This is a Tracey Grist trial. She's on trial for the conspiracy, the murder of Matt Rastelli, her son-in-law. And it just seemed like now she's not the one that did the firing, but they're saying that she's one of the people that helped conspire. They're actually saying she masterminded this whole thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but either way, it is saying that she helped plan this crime, right? But I think one of the biggest things I saw was lack of male leadership. Number two, and men need to learn this, is male simping. Her brother is, I believe, doing a 20-year sentence, or not Tracy's brother, but Tracy's son actually, and he's doing a 20-year sentence for killing his brother-in-law. And I think he got bamboozled into this by women that he was taking their lead and believing the stories they were telling, and believing the story that his sister was telling about her husband. And you always have to be very weary of the stories women tell, okay, about their relationships. And why do I say that? I'll get this started as soon as I can. Is because women are reputation controllers, image managers. And it's a feature, not a bug. Women always needed the group to survive. So they are very adept at controlling their image. So you don't believe their stories. They're always going to make themselves look good. They're never going to make themselves look bad. And that's a feature, not a bug. They're not a bad person for doing that. That's just who they are. And you have to maneuver accordingly. Now, some do it a detriment to others, like this young lady, Kate Rastelli, the daughter of Tracey Grist. She was manipulating people, and she wanted people to believe her side of the story. She was, taking clips of them arguing. She was secretly, recording arguments between her and her husband. She was, taking videos and then sending it to different family members. And some were getting some information, some weren't getting others, but she was definitely shaping the narrative. And almost every witness that's testified in this case has said they felt betrayed and didn't know the whole story. They had a whole different view of the relationship that Kate Rastelli had with Matt, the victim in this case. But anyway, but that's just important. Male leadership and understanding men do not believe women's stories. Watch their actions, not their words. Verify, verify, verify. Trust but verify. Always verify information. Don't just go on what you've heard. And then we'll go in on this. Let's go.
Tracey, you've heard the testimony of this trial, is that right?
Yes.
You've been here throughout all the proceedings.
Yes.
And you've heard the testimony of each and every witness.
Yes.
And in your trial, this is your opportunity, in your case, this is your opportunity to tell your story, isn't that right?
Yes.
Have you had your opportunity to say that to anyone but your attorney prior to that?
No.
So let's start then, Tracey, with June 20th, 2024. Do you remember that day?
I do.
And what happened on that day?
My daughter, Kate Roselli, my daughter Kate, came to my home with her two little ones. They were 3 and 7 at the time. And she was going to stay with me for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was not really clear exactly how long.
Okay, do you hear leadership problem there? Not really clear how long. Her daughter's coming with kids. You know, and I will tell you this, her daughter at this point is 36 years old. Her daughter has no job, is broke as a joke, smokes weed almost every day, admittedly by her mom, is leaving her husband, is lying to him, is going to just escape with the children and bring her children and stay in her home. Mom is you're gonna find out later, is going to be on an air mattress in the basement while her daughter gets to stay with her children up in the master bedroom. Now, I understand why mom did that, but this is a problem of leadership. Mom, first of all, where is her, your daughter seems to really be flailing here as far as, she's having marital problems. Well, could you not understand why she's having marital problems? She's having her own, the daughter's having, who would be able to have a relationship with a person who is spending hours and hours and hours smoking weed every day, not working, having financial trouble, right? That is going to leave, strain on a marriage. And by the way, let me add this to it. Not only is she having marital troubles, when she comes to, and this will all be explained, but I just want to bring this out. When she comes to Utah, she gets on dating apps, her daughter, and goes dating. And maybe they do go on dates, but she's coming to Utah to get banged, okay? And mom, she says she doesn't condone any of this, but yet by her actions, she's, she's basically, enabling it, right? And if you enable something, you're basically condoning it, right? So anyway, all this bad behavior that her daughter's displaying, there's no consequence. Just, I just want to point that out.
And she was having marital struggles, and I offered her a safe space to think things through.
Okay. This came as a surprise to you, didn't it?
And again, Law 10, infection, avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. And it says and that's the law of power, Law 10, avoid the unhappy and unlucky, because it says you may think you are helping the drowning man, but you're really participating in your own disaster. It says also that, oftentimes people who are unlucky or misfortunate in life, they draw it upon themselves, and they will also draw it upon you. So, associate with the happy and lucky instead. And I said that in another one. Mom was violated, and I always say that's why 48 Laws of Power is so important, because mom violated Law 10, and she was participating in her own disaster. Her brother, especially, who's doing 20 years, they hung around the daughter who was participating. They were participating in their own disaster by hanging around her misfortunate butt, or unlucky butt, whatever you want to say.
Yes.
You didn't know that she was coming out to Utah before June 20th?
No, I knew she was coming about probably 3 weeks. She was really planning.
Okay.
So about 3 weeks-ish, maybe a little more.
And so during those 3 weeks before June 20th, was there a plan formulated on how to get her to Utah?
Yes.
And what was that plan?
She had put some things into a storage unit that my daughter Tara Lynn.
Okay, we're gonna go into this. Tara Lynn, once again, Tara Lynn's her older daughter that lives in California, and they reached out to her. Now look, she's trying to set up this, step-by-step process. Here we go. We got Tara Lynn helping her get a storage unit. We've got mom she's going to get her a credit card, helping her, but what they don't understand is y'all don't have any idea, what she's done to her. Y'all have no idea the ins and outs of this relationship, yet you're supporting this disastrous woman, like, disaster of a show, right? Could say, Kate Rastelli's living a shit show life, and they're kind of supporting it, and they're all kind of like have their hands in it, and somebody in this situation like Kate, she'll take help from anybody, so, and she needs it because this, she's broke as a joke. And by the way, this storage unit, there's nothing like they're saying, put valuables in there, blah, blah. She puts like Christmas. I mean, when she described when Kate Rastelli described what she had in this thing, she really didn't need the storage unit. She had really like nothing in there. I mean, nothing, because she didn't do anything. She was a loser. I'm sorry, she was a loser. But hey, she found dates when she came to Utah. Thank you, dating apps.
Had secured. In that storage unit were two types of things. The first were things that she would need to come and stay with me for a couple of weeks. So
this is what Mom thought. That's not in the storage unit, by the way.
Favorite blankets, kids' favorite things, and clothing to wear while she was in puddle jumpers, things that she would use for a couple weeks in the summer. The other type of thing she put in the storage unit were things that she perceived might be in physical jeopardy.
Nothing was in physical jeopardy. It was stories Kate Rastelli, her daughter, the one that they're trying to help separate from the husband, made up.
She were to leave them at home with her husband. She was leaving Matt and coming to stay with me without telling him beforehand.
Did you know
Also, not a good
I
idea.
did know that.
Not a good idea. Don't support that. That's bad behavior. Unless she's in danger. But, again, they didn't know enough about the situation.
And so she had moved some stuff to the storage unit for things she was going to bring with her to Utah, and she had also moved some stuff to the storage unit that she was afraid might be damaged if she left.
Yes.
Exaggerated claims of danger.
You aware that her leaving in the way she did could create volatility between her and Matt?
Exactly.
100% yes.
Were you aware that she was not telling Matt
And she invited it into her home. So whether she's guilty or not, this Tracey Grist lady, whether she's guilty or not, she invited this disaster into her home. And I'm telling all you men, women too, be careful when you invite. I'm telling you, Law 10, infection, avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Only those that you truly, truly trust, only those that you truly, truly are down for, but, and that's not too many people. That's going to be one or two people on this planet. But with this young lady, she's constantly, throughout her life, Mom will go into it, she's constantly not listening to the advice of Mom. So why is she going to invite this disaster into her life? She invited it into her son's life, she invited it into her life, and she invited it into her grandkids' life. Luckily, and anyway.
going to Utah?
Yes, I was aware.
Were you aware when she told Matt she was going to Utah? Was she aware when? I didn't ask what was said. Was she aware when?
But this is leading up to it, yes. Some of your questions have been leading to this. Let's just watch it more carefully.
Were you aware Kate told Matt she went to Utah?
I knew when Carolyn had created a text for Kate to send.
Check this out. Her older daughter has now created a text to send to her younger daughter's husband. You see how women are getting involved? Now, Mom should not be allowed. If there is going to be any text sent, number one, maybe sent from Mom, the matriarch. But what is this older sister in California who doesn't have much interaction with the husband, who has no idea what's going on inside the relationship, who's being fed information from her daughter about what's going on? It's constructing this. It's going to be like a half a page text message of, hey, I'm leaving your butt and I'm in Utah. This is too many hands. It's chaos. This is chaos. This is what lack of leadership does.
Matt. Kate had left her home, I think it was about 10 a.m. in the morning, and She was due home about 5 p.m. because she had said that she was going to go to her friend's house to do some work and to socialize both. So about the time she would be due home is when she sent the text to Matt that said something to the effect of, I'm going to Utah to stay with my mom for a few weeks. I don't remember what else it said, but it was like a paragraph text.
It was a text sent to Matt.
Yes.
And
Okay, now, real quick. Now, this has been sent to Matt. This text of, I've left you. I'm in Utah with my mom. I've got our kids. I lied to you about everything that happened earlier. I left your truck and parked over here. I've rented a car, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the level of betrayal on Matt, the husband, is so high here, okay? There's also been allegations of infidelity, okay? I mean, and the allegations of infidelity are actually true, okay? And there's been multiple cases of infidelity. And she's going to go to Utah and do some more infidelity on dating apps while she's there. So, point being is, let's go to Matt first. I mean, or just let's in general, anybody. If this level of disrespect, if this level of betrayal has hit your home, has hit your marriage, you need to, like I said, number one, when you suspect infidelity, it's happening, just like in this one. Number two, that's at this point, you have no other options. Matt needs to understand how behind the 8 ball he is, how behind he is in this, in this marriage. It is over. And one thing, he's been arguing with his wife. He's been, that alone is betrayal. That alone is disrespect. And he doesn't understand. They've even created a name for him. Olaf. His name is Olaf. In these group messages, he's a clown in these women's eyes. As far as that's how far behind the 8 ball he is. He, and I say to men in trying to educate them is understand disrespect. Understand when you're not being respected. You have to know the signs of disrespect. You have to know the signs when you're not respected, not loved. Because when that happens, when a woman doesn't love you, when she doesn't respect you, it means she doesn't desire you anymore. It means you have no more control in the relationship. And it oftentimes means she's going to be ruthless and she's going to be ice cold to your needs and to your interests. And so that's why you got to get out to protect yourself. There's no way to get your respect back, but for her to become climbing back to you, if it's ever going to happen, probably won't ever happen, but you need to get the hell out. Once you've lost this much respect in a relationship, I granted he's trying to keep the family together, but you can't keep something together that, you can't keep something glued together that doesn't want to be glued together. And that's his wife. And here's the thing. Women who treat you like this, and I've been involved in these situations myself. This is why I know, right? Is when they give no F's, is that they could care less if you left. They're saying, okay, this is basically when they show you this kind of disrespect, they're basically saying you can fuck off if you want to. If you want to stick around, you can stick around. I'll abuse the hell out of you. But also you can fuck off if you want to. A woman who really respects you and really wants you will not want you out of her life for one day. That when they start pulling this, you are done.
text is actually included in the exhibits the state has offered to the jury, isn't that right?
Yes.
And so on June 20th, around 5 p.m. California time, is when you understood that text went out.
Yes.
And did you have an occasion to talk to Kate during her trip from California to Utah?
Yeah, a little bit, not tons.
Did you have an opportunity to talk to Kate during the weeks before her leaving about her plans?
Yes, because I had to. She didn't have a credit card to rent a car.
Broke as a fucking joke at 36 years old.
So I had to add her as a...
She didn't have to either. I had to. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You could have... You're enabling a loser.
authorized user, and then mail her the card so that she could rent a car to drive out safely to my house.
Okay, so you had actually sent her a credit card.
Yes.
And how long after she received the credit card did she leave to come to Utah?
1 day, 2 max.
And how long did it take for you to send the credit card to where she actually got it?
It took probably a week all told that By the time I called the credit card company, added her, and then they sent it to me and I sent it to her. So probably it took a little over a week, maybe.
So my question was, how long did it take for you to send Kate the credit card before she received it?
Oh, probably a day and a half, 2 days, because I sent it FedEx.
Okay. So the credit card company sent you the credit card, even
Right.
though it was in the name of Kate,
Right,
and then you FedExed it to Kate in California.
correct.
Okay. And so, did you ever have an occasion to talk about Kate and Matt divorce?
Yes, I talked with Kate about getting a divorce, yes.
Was that before she came to Utah?
Yes, definitely before she came to Utah.
And after she came to
And
Utah?
after she came to Utah.
Was it your understanding that Kate was going to live in Utah for the rest of her life when she came?
It was my understanding that she was going to stay with me for a few weeks to figure out
Leadership timeframes.
step 1, step 2, step 3 on the process of a divorce. And she did say that she would prefer to move to Utah. And to my mind, that would happen in about a year.
And gentlemen, be careful. I'm going to give you an example. This woman, at the time she was actually pretty good looking. Not this lady. I'm talking her daughter, and she's rolling to Utah. And let's just say she continued with the divorce process, right? Well, she's had no job forever. Her husband's been either her husband family. She's had no job for forever. This woman's daughter, Kate, and she's out there dating, and she could get dates. When she came on the dating app, she could get dates. Well, if she's looking for a new man and a new house, be careful. There's women out there looking for those guys to support them.
She had to go through the steps of getting a divorce.
So when she arrived at your home on June 20th, do you remember when she arrived?
Yeah, it was like 1 a.m.
Okay, so early in the morning. And what was
With
her
2 little kids.
accommodations? She stayed at your home.
She stayed at my home.
What were her accommodations?
I gave her my bedroom. Her and Steele slept in my queen-size bed, and then I put a mattress on the floor for.
Why change your behavior when you're getting treated this nice for being a loser?
And I slept downstairs in the basement on a mattress, an air mattress on the ground.
Man, I'll keep being a loser. I got treated that nice.
It made more sense for Kate to have access to the bathtub and the larger bathroom for the kids' sake, and to be able to be comfortable for them to sleep.
Is
The
it
kids
fair
can
to
be
say
comfortable,
that
mom
you
doesn't have to be.
gave Kate and the 2 kids the master bedroom suite, which had a bathroom, and then you moved downstairs?
Yes.
Okay. So that master bedroom had its own bathroom.
Yeah.
Upstairs, who lived upstairs?
Upstairs was my primary bedroom, and then that was Kate. Kate was occupying Kevin, a guest room that Kevin was still staying in, and because he had
The
been
shooter,
with us for
the killer.
2.5 years ish, and then Rory's.
By the way, her son was staying with her because he had gotten dumped out of a relationship, had a hard time coping with that relationship ending in Chicago. He's come to live with mom. I think he's been with mom for 2 years now. He had a cocaine problem, a substance abuse problem. Again, mom welcoming in bad behavior, infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Mom is allowing these people that are not at the prime of their lives. It's okay to accept a little bit of but 2 years, her son's been there 2 years and still with it. She didn't know he had a cocaine problem either. So, no leadership. You got this amount of time to get your butt out of my house, get your boots through, get your self cleaned up, get yourself back on the track. 2 years now.
Aurora.
This chaos causes
and
this.
Another bathroom for Aurora and Kevin to use.
So upstairs, 3 bedrooms,
Yes.
2 baths.
Yes.
Master bedroom had its own bath.
Yes.
And then Kevin and Rory would share the hallway bathroom?
Correct.
Okay. And you said you slept down in the basement.
Yes.
And who slept downstairs?
Jacob had a bedroom downstairs, and down the downstairs basement, there was a TV area with a couch and you could Xbox TV and a place where we had a pool table. And then it was Jake's bedroom. And so I was sleeping next to the pool table.
On an air mattress.
Did you consider this to be a long-term arrangement?
No.
And when Kate got there at 1 in the morning, did she move her stuff upstairs and?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she just unpacked her stuff and put it upstairs.
Losers have no problem moving in like this.
Next day, I think I bought.
And any loser that would allow this to happen, be like, no, I'm going to take the basement.
In there so she could get it out of the little plastic drawer organizers instead of having them in a suitcase.
Was there something else in your bedroom that you had to move?
Oh, to make it safe for the children, I did have a gun safe underneath my bed that had a gun in it, as well as passports and birth certificates, immunization records, a little bit of cash. And I moved that from underneath the bed to a shelf in the garage. Actually, I asked Kevin to move it because I wanted it especially high so that it would be out of reach. Because even though it had a code on it, it worried me.
So this is a safe, is that right?
This safe is about this big, so
Maybe
it like
1.5 by 5 inches high?
The safe was at the side of the legal pad, but it was only about that deep. It was only a couple inches deep, so it was.
And it had a keypad on it,
Yes.
and that keypad had to have a code.
Yes.
You've heard the testimony of Tim today.
Yes.
Tim has advised he accessed the gun safe.
Yes.
Are you surprised by that testimony today?
No.
Why not?
The only person that didn't have access to the gun safe was Rory. My daughter Aurora, she 18, 19 years old. I was just being cautious.
Did Kevin have access to the gun safe?
Yes, he did.
What was in the gun safe besides a gun? Well, I guess you testified.
Yeah.
If you could remind me, I'm sorry.
Passports, some cash, birth certificates, immunization records, and some social security cards. I think there are some divorce papers in there as well.
From your divorce?
Yes.
And so, if we go back in time now, there was a trip planned in early 2024 to Disneyland.
Yes.
Did you instigate that, or did others instigate that?
Kevin and I came up with the idea together.
And why did you do that?
Because Kevin had come to stay with me from Chicago, and so he was close by, and I wanted to give him something to look forward to. And I had all these kids who were in a place where we could transport them from Utah to California with relative ease, as opposed to as they got older, maybe kids were getting spread out more. So we chose, I chose to give it to them. I think we started planning it back in January, the prior year, maybe October, November. So the prior year. And it was supposed to be a Christmas gift for 2024. But the trip wasn't going to happen at Christmas. It would happen in February because the crowds were less in Disney in February.
Did all the family know about this Disney trip?
100%. I didn't want to make it a surprise because it took too much planning, and part of the fun and part of the gift is planning for it. Buying
For women it
custom
is.
t-shirts.
This is not fun for men. I would hate something like this.
Your Carolyn talk about having t-shirts for all the kids,
Yes.
including Lucas, Matt's oldest son.
Yes.
How old was Lucas at that time, do you think?
Lucas was 18 or 19, and I'm not sure. I do not believe he was living with Matt and Katie at that time. I think he had moved out.
So how old?
He was probably 19.
Okay, thank you. And did you have an occasion, as the Disney trip came closer, to have a dispute with Matt?
Katie was having a, yes.
And tell me, how did that dispute originate?
So I don't know what Kate and Matt were arguing about specifically until a day or so later, but Matt was mad at her because he was suspicious of her cheating on him.
And he was right. Man, when you have that suspicion, this is where he messed up. He should have left right here. Right here. The fact that he's arguing with this woman, not her, but her daughter. And the fact that the daughters were laying the information, not in a kind way either. That's disrespect. A woman that really respects you would probably not even tell her mom. I want to say probably. Wouldn't tell her mom about the argument. Would only tell her things about you that are kind and that are, you know, and you have to be a man worthy of this though, right? But at the same time, you know, all her daughter does is talk, you know, is exacerbate situations, spins narratives in her favor, spins her husband in this terrible light. And so you're going to see her family members, including mom here, feel a certain kind of way about the situation, and then find out later they get betrayed by her.
Heard that before?
Yes.
And how did you hear of that before?
Katie told me.
Katie told her, her daughter.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Had
Confirmed.
you ever heard of Matt and Katie arguing about that prior to this time?
Yes.
So was that sort of a theme for a short time?
It was. And from what I understood, it was a one-time thing. It wasn't what I would have
Remember my question?
Tell me again.
Was that a theme that you have heard prior to that day of...
So what he's trying to get across is that the theme, it means she's doing it a lot. She's messing around a lot.
her telling you?
Yes.
And so had she expressed to you their dispute
Any husband would have a problem with this.
about that issue previously?
Yes.
And during that time, what did Kate tell you was going to happen because of this dispute?
He said, she's told me that Matt was not going to go to Disneyland. And
Yeah. Yeah. Your wife is cheating on you. Not going to Disneyland with the whole family and all these kiddos. Hell no.
Does that surprise you?
shocked me, yes. Surprised me, yes.
Why did this shock me? Again, this is a woman thing. You know, your daughter's cheating on her man. And you're upset. See, and this is what, guys, you gotta understand. Mom is not going to, mother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, best girlfriends of your wife, girlfriend will not side with you. They will not understand your plight. Don't try to get sympathy from them, and don't think you will. You're gonna be, but you gotta stand your ground, okay? And the ground you need to stand on, when I say you're getting cheated on, get the hell out. And Matt makes the wrong decision here, once again, and not to say that I can, the fact that he's been a victim, bad, okay? But the fact that he relinquishes his conviction and goes, even worse for him.
Paid for this.
He goes to Disneyland.
Everything was paid for.
Who cares? You don't go to
tickets,
Disneyland. You get
Airbnb
out.
on the beach, the Disneyland hotel.
Who cares?
The tickets to go into the park.
Who cares?
And the car rentals, the flights to go out there.
And this is what women don't understand this a lot of times. I'm not saying not all, but a lot. Who cares? I don't care what's been bought. I have standards and discipline. And the discipline is you mess me over, you fucked up. You have to pay the price. His wife got to pay the price. She cheated on me. That includes that's going to now include her not going, me not going, and my children not going. And fuck all y'all. I don't give a fuck what y'all think.
Before this.
Man, they getting paid. We got it all paid for. But
Yes.
they're not going to side with
Is
you.
Kate still going to come?
Kate said that she told me that she's gonna go. If he doesn't go, then I'll just go. And then she called me back.
Yeah, see, you got problems. This is a woman who don't give a damn about her husband. If your wife is acting this way, you got huge problems. Huge. And Matt knew this. And he still continued. You cannot allow this disrespect. Because look where it ends him.
But Matt said that if he doesn't go, the kids are not going.
Did you have
Nothing
an
wrong with that.
opportunity to send a text about your frustration about Matt?
Yes.
Did you say, I want to strangle him?
Yes, I did.
But she should want to strangle her daughter. But see, this
Why
is
did you say that?
Because I was frustrated with him, but it was more, I couldn't do anything about calming that down. And I knew that I couldn't be there to support Kate physically, but I could just kind of say, hey,
This is the reality of it all, though. She's not going to feel bad for your plight. And he said the kids can't go. Now, are you doing that because, a lot of times, let's say Matt did that. The kids can't go. He's just trying to punish all of them, right? Let your wife and kids go. Y'all go have fun. But, dude, move your shit out, get the hell out, If your wife's going to go on a trip without you, you need to have standards. That's you move the hell out or whatever. The relationship is over. Let's get this thing going. Come on now. There we go.
I'll just drive 9 hours and strangle him. It was so ridiculous. That's why I could say it like that, because it was ridiculous. I would never do that.
Did you have an occasion to talk to him on the phone in and around that?
Yes, I did.
And what did you say to him?
I called him on the phone, and it was a very short call, and I told him, don't mess with my child. And I think he just said one or two words.
Like F
he
you.
hung up. And Kate let me know.
How did Kate let you know?
She called me and texted me.
What did she say?
And now watch. Kate's going to blame mom for trying to help to make the situation worse. This is all her. Take responsibility. Her daughter never does, though.
She said that I made it. She was essentially saying I made it worse.
Mm-hmm. I'm
you
sure,
contacting
Mom.
Matt personally
Yes.
made their relationship and
Her daughter being a chronic dope smoker, loser, no job,
what did you say?
terrible partner, and
I
mom.
said, do you want me to call? I can call him and backpedal. I told her I was frustrated, and wasn't like any kind of. She told me that he perceived it as a threat, and I said that's
Oh, come on.
ridiculous. Wasn't a threat. I'm just frustrated and didn't know what to say.
Did you have an occasion to go out to California after the Disney trip?
Yes,
Okay, we can move on here. That was all about her friend.
bring her, pretend like she has a sprained ankle, so she couldn't drive the rental car back. And also, it worked out that we could show Matt that the car rental agency wouldn't rent a car.
So this whole
To
woman
her
conspiring
when
thing
she
that they
got
can't go back,
pregnant.
it's just making things worse.
Was Kate trying to get Matt to come to Utah at that point?
No.
What was your understanding of Kate's desire at that point as far as Matt coming to Utah?
She wanted to stay. I'm not answering the question again.
Did Kate want Matt to come to Utah?
No.
When did you find out Matt was coming to Utah?
It was the 12th.
How did you find out?
Kate texted me.
So she texted you, Matt's coming.
Yes.
Is that the first time you knew that Matt was coming?
Yes.
The day before, you joked about her having a sprained ankle. You recall that?
Yes.
And you recall that there was the question of being able to get a debit card or credit card or something to rent. You recall
Yes.
that? And did you know Kate went to the rental car agency before she left to go
Yes.
there? You knew she was going to do that?
Yes.
And what was your understanding was the purpose of that?
Because she wanted to go because she knows that we had this conversation. She knew that Matt had made the arrangements for the rental car. And so she wanted to go and physically say to the people, so if I have just this ID and this debit card, can I rent a car? And for them to say no, so that way.
But look at all the drama. This one young lady who can't keep her crap together. Not mom, I'm talking about her daughter. Her daughter is just this shit show. And they keep enabling her behavior.
If Matt called them and said, why aren't you renting her the car? They wouldn't be they would be able to give him a response.
To your understanding at this time, had Kate and Matt had a conversation about divorce?
Yes,
Let me limit
yes.
that a little bit. To your understanding, during the time that Kate was in Utah, up to that day, July 11th, so June 20th or 21st, she got there at 1 a.m. June 21st to July 11th, had Kate and Matt had a conversation about divorce?
I don't believe so.
But they-
So Kate's planning on leaving Matt, divorcing him, yet she hasn't told her husband. And her husband thinks he's coming to get his family and go back home, and everything's going to be great. And Kate's telling her mom one thing, and her older sister one thing, and her younger sister another thing, and telling Matt another thing, and she's spinning the narrative to everybody. And she's they're all her puppets. They're all getting a different story. They're all getting a little different narrative. And she's recording conversations, and she's editing stuff out, and making herself look good and look whatever. It's like, what other case did we see this in? The Adelson case. The only person not doing time in the Adelson case is the one spinning the narrative, Wendy Adelson. Which this lady looked up, the Adelson case, right? Because it's similar. They call this the Adelson case of Utah. But the same thing's happening. And they said that her daughter, Kate, who seems to be the instigator to all of this, is the one getting the least amount of sentence, has gone state's evidence, and has been given a sweetheart deal, and is testifying against everybody, which I don't know if that's right or wrong. It seems kind of wrong to me. But the bottom line is that if you allow these sociopathic, narcissistic, Machiavellianism, dark triad people to spin a narrative, and you're going to believe their BS, just like Wendy Adelson spun a narrative to her mom that, Dan Markel was doing this, and, spun a narrative, and her mom spun the narrative to her son, who now is doing life in prison, and Donald Adelson is doing life in prison, and, Catherine McBanawa, spread a narrative by her boyfriend Charlie, and so, and then even the killers, or the killer and his partner, who are now doing life sentences, were spun a narrative. This guy won't let his, wife see her kids or some shit, but whatever. But the only one that's not in jail was the one spinning the narrative. You cannot let these people spin the narrative. You cannot care so much about people's problems. Take care of yourself first.
Previously to your understanding.
Especially
Yes.
women.
And so on July 12th, you were notified by text that that Matt is coming.
Yes.
And do you recall what your text response was?
I'll call you in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll call you. And did you end up having a telephone conversation with Kate?
Yes, I called her.
And what was said?
I asked her, what's going on? How is he coming out? Did he...
By the way, she's also alleged abuse, and she's afraid of him, and now the family's all spun up on it. This guy might be dangerous.
Oh, car, what's going on?
When actually they're having very good phone conversations that she's recording but not giving to anybody. You see how you get spun up in other people's narratives? You see how her son might be ready with a pistol inside the house? Because the daughter has alleged that she's afraid of this guy, yet she's having phone conversations that are lovey-dovey with him. Come on, y'all. Don't simp for these ladies. Do not believe their BS stories to manipulate you.
She said that he was going to drive out. And I said, okay, well...
Her brother's doing
if
20 years
you already-
behind being a simp.
She, I don't remember what she said. And I said, well, if he's coming out, I want you to just have a, when he comes out, just
What's that saying? You don't have to light yourself on fire to heat a room?
conversation with him. And in some ways, maybe it's better because you won't be going home to Temecula, having a conversation with him where you're alone in the house and he can yell. If he's coming out here, then he can have a conversation with you. And there's adults in the house. He will be able to be more civil in a conversation.
And did you have an occasion to talk to
Oh, and she also made him out to be an alcoholic, yet upon his autopsy, he had no alcohol in his system. Interesting.
Yes, I did.
And
And this is Kate, her daughter, by the way.
I asked Kevin if he wanted to go for sushi because no one else in my house likes sushi and Kevin does. And so it's one of the things that we do just to connect. And so I said, you want to meet me for sushi? And we did. We met at about 2-ish, 3-ish, somewhere around there.
Okay, so you received a text earlier in the day that Matt's not coming. And
That is coming.
Matt is coming. Were you home when you received that text?
No, I was in Salt Lake.
Okay. And when you met for sushi, Matt's living at the house, right? Or not Matt?
Kevin.
excuse me. Kevin's living at the house, right?
Yes.
And did you communicate with Kevin to meet for sushi?
Yes.
And how far is sushi from your house?
2 minutes, couple of walks,
And had you been there before?
several times.
And you and Kevin met there?
Yes.
And when you met there, what did you talk about?
We talked about, I told him, I said, I can't believe Matt's coming out. And we were talking about, I said, do you know how that came about? And he said, no. I asked him if he would please not go out that night so he could just be around the house when Matt showed up. We talked about Kate's options, like, if he comes out so they can have a conversation in the living room. And if he got there and he was really too tired, I let Kevin know that, yes, excuse me. I let Kevin know that I had invited Matt to stay at our house if he wanted to, because he would have gotten there after a long day of driving, and I know that drive, it's a long drive. I let him know that I had offered Matt and Kate money to stay in the Holiday Inn Express, so they could sleep and talk. And I said that, they could just, I said, I remember saying this and thinking, oh, this is never going to happen. I said, maybe he'll come out and they want to stay an extra week. And I said, I don't think that'll happen because he won't want to turn around and go back home.
What did Kate tell you Matt's plan was when he came to Utah?
To pick them up and bring them home.
Mm-hmm.
And so what did you do in preparation of that?
I cleaned my house because it was a disaster.
So after sushi, you went home
Yeah.
and you cleaned your house.
Yeah, I did laundry. I did up Kate's laundry because she can't.
Doing her daughter's laundry.
Clothes.
See?
So I did Kate's laundry.
What's your daughter doing?
Normal putting away laundry.
So at the time, you've been in Salt Lake, right?
Yeah.
You come home and you start cleaning the house.
Yeah.
Living at the house is Cheyenne, Steele, Kate, Kevin, Aurora,
Me.
and you. Is the house well kept when you get there?
No.
Was it sort of common for it not to be like that when you got home?
Well, yes, because I had company, and company is messy.
And so, how did you prepare?
Especially when your daughter don't help.
Well, Matt was coming, and I wanted it to look nice when he came.
That's what you do.
When you got
I
shot
did
7
the dishes.
times.
I vacuumed the house, which is a big house. It's like 3,200 square feet. I knew that they'd be carrying the suitcases and blankets and things out to the truck if Kate left, which that's what I thought she was going to. He was coming out to pick her up, so Kate was going to leave. And so I have a screen door that hangs from the door frame.
You've seen the picture as an exhibit.
Yes.
It's a screen door with magnets in the middle.
Yeah.
And so how do you get through that screen door?
You have to part it like a curtain, but it's kind of stiff and you have to kind of duck. And so I just took it down so that A, the screen didn't get damaged, and B, if they're carrying kids, blankets, and suitcases in and out, it would make it very much a hindrance to go through the screen. And
Did you take the screen down to make it easier for Matt to get in the house?
in the house, no. We went in the house all the time. It's just getting in the house. It's more carrying the items.
How hard is it to take down that screen?
It's nothing. It's Velcroed on. It takes 3 seconds.
And what else did you do to get the house clean?
Well, when I was taking the screen off, I also noticed that there's sidewalk chalk all over the patio, the front porch, and I hosed it off to make it. I wanted to make it look nice.
So who did the chalk?
The kids put sidewalk chalk, so I hosed it off, watered my tomato plants, squirted off the chairs from dust and spiders.
And did you have a conversation with Kate when you got home from sushi?
Yeah, I asked her what she was going to.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you got home from sushi, and where did you have that conversation?
It was probably when I was doing the dishes and cleaning the kitchen, and she was sitting at the dining room table.
So do you really remember, or are you just trying your best?
No, I'm trying my best to remember.
Okay, thank you. You've heard the testimony of Kate, right?
I've heard the testimony of Kate.
You were
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Kate says that when you got back, you had a meeting with you and Kevin and her on the yard. Remember that testimony?
I remember that testimony.
And when did Kevin get back from sushi?
I think he went and did an errand before he came home because I don't think he was right behind me.
So you didn't drive together to sushi, did you?
No.
And so Kevin didn't arrive at the same time that
No.
you arrived.
No.
And so you had a conversation with Kate. Was there a conversation about how she was going to handle her meeting with Matt?
Yeah, she was just going to talk to him and see how things were going, and hopefully that they would be peaceful. And I told her in that conversation, I had said, don't rile him up on the drive. Just have him be calm. He's welcome. Don't let him think that he's anything else besides welcome.
Did Kate indicate that she wanted to call off the divorce?
No.
Did Kate indicate that she wanted to follow through with the divorce?
Yes.
Was your understanding that that conversation was going to be about getting a divorce?
Yes.
Let's go a little bit longer, and then we'll have to do a part 2.
Did Kate help you clean the house?
Yeah, she picked up toys, yes.
Where were the kids?
Meh, that's a
Running
no.
around the house, playing.
That's a no.
Other iPads. Well, probably about 4-ish because we went to sushi at 3, and so maybe it took us an hour to get back. And so between 4 and say 6 or
So it's not bedtime for the kids?
No, not yet.
And what time do kids usually go to bed?
8:30-ish.
You've heard telephone conversations between Kate and Kevin on that day.
And listen up.
Kate and Kevin.
Kate and Matt on July.
So conversation between the victim and the wife.
Conversations when
Husband
Matt
and
was
wife.
Getting ready to leave from California, and then while he was on the road, excuse me,
That she's recorded for her own purposes, not
Kate tell you
her.
about those
Kate.
conversations?
No.
What do you
Exactly.
understand was there communication during that day?
I thought that she was surprised. that
Setting
I
the
was coming
narrative.
out. I
Last
heard
to
on
know.
those phone calls that
Just to clarify, surprised that he's coming out and immediately arriving, or what do you mean by that?
I didn't think he was able to come to Utah.
You said you thought she was surprised he was coming out.
Oh,
Did you think Kate was surprised Matt was coming out?
I think she was because he didn't have a reliable vehicle. Yeah, I perceived her to be surprised, like he's coming out. Oh my gosh, he's coming out.
Was it your understanding that she was trying to delay him from coming out or have him not come out at all?
Yes.
Because you had talked about the rental car,
Yes.
because you had talked about spraining an ankle so she couldn't drive.
Yes.
So this plan was to just have her stay in Utah and Matt not come out to Utah.
Yes.
And when you, on these telephone conversations, you heard telephone conversations before Matt even left Utah, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I said that.
California.
Before Matt even left California,
Yes.
he was talking about, I have to whack the starter with a tool to get it to work on the truck. You remember that conversation?
I do.
You remember the conversations while he's on the road coming to Utah, is that right?
I do.
When's the first time you ever heard those telephone conversations?
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Here in court.
Mm-hmm.
It-
Mm-hmm.
I read them on transcripts that you gave me.
Isn't it true that the first time you heard those was at the hearing May 20th and May 22nd of 2025?
Yes.
And that was at a preliminary hearing, correct?
Yes.
Where witnesses were taking the stand, correct?
He's leading.
Did witnesses take the stand at the preliminary hearing?
Yes.
And did you hear what they said?
Yes.
Did you hear any telephone conversations during that preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Did you hear telephone conversations between Matt and Kate during that preliminary hearing?
Yes.
On May 20th and May 22nd, 2025?
Yes.
And is that the first time you had heard or read anything about those telephone conversations?
Yes.
Exactly.
How were you surprised?
You could have knocked me over with a feather. I was shocked.
Exactly.
Because that's not what she said to me.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not
oh, oh. The woman is lying to your daughter. Your own daughter is lying, controlling the narrative. Gentlemen, gentlemen, look where this got Mama. On trial for her life.
She represented, that's what
Mhm.
Kate represented.
And you
to
believed
me,
it
the
hook,
way she
line, and
presented
sinker.
What was she representing?
So did your son.
That she was more surprised
Mhm.
that Matt was coming.
Mm-hmm. It served her, didn't it?
To you was the relationship between them at that time.
Mm-hmm. This is
Sounded
what.
pretty
This is
lovey-dovey
where.
on the telephone call.
Mm-hmm.
That was surprising to me.
Lovey-dovey calls.
I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was two different people.
Mm-hmm.
You were aware that she had been on dates while in Utah during this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there were lovey-dovey calls between her and Matt.
Interesting. Lying.
Yes, and that's not the same thing as keeping him calm.
Listen up. Listen up. See? You see? Did you hear all that? And this is why you don't believe women's stories. And we understand it. Their features, not bugs, but at the same time, it's your own fault for listening to them. Just like I've had thousands of conversations with women, and I'm not, it's not a flex, but how many times will you hear my husband was cheating on me? He was abusive. You never hear that, I was a low down, dirty bitch. Didn't do a damn thing for him, hadn't had sex with him for 6 years, and all of a sudden he cheated on me. You don't hear that, you hear he cheated on me. Well, again, you don't hear that, well, it's because I had 10 boyfriends, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You'll always hear he cheated on me, he was abusive. Don't believe those stories, gentlemen. Right there, even mom got got.
Internet.
Lots of searches for whatever's in my head.
Do you recall searching the Adelson case?
Yes.
The
And how do
Adelson
you know
case.
about that case?
It was on, it was a popular true crime story, and there was
That allowed one woman to spin a narrative that got everybody in trouble. Just like this one. Her daughter Kate did the same thing. Don't let this happen to you either.
Bees out.
And you searched it?
Well, I would listen to the
Is that a
podcast.
yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you listened to a podcast about it?
Yeah, listen to podcasts, and then I would go down a rabbit hole and look at things, look at a picture of a person that's being talked about.
So is this a hobby of yours?
Yeah.
True crime?
Yes.
Is it a hobby of Tara Lynn's?
Yes.
I mean, you heard Tara Lynn testify to that.
I know.
They love the drama.
Yes.
Did you ever search on your history anything about gun licensing?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
And there's nothing wrong with
It
that.
was at a very specific time. I was talking to Tara Lynn, and Tara Lynn had me on speakerphone.
Once again, the older daughter getting her all spun up. You need to get a gun. You need to keep, which she does, right? But again, this chaotic, and her husband's this big gun nut guy, right? And there's nothing wrong with having it. And I believe the prosecution was bad in this. They're trying to make it. She's just getting a gun, seeing what gun laws and getting a gun properly registered. It's not saying you're going to commit a murder. She's following gun laws. You know, I think it's pretty low down dirty by the prosecution to make this look bad. She searched how to get a gun permit. Unbelievable.
A few days before Kate came out, it was after the storage unit was rented, and before Kate actually came to Utah. And Carolyn was talking to me about Kate coming out, and her husband, David, was in the background on the speakerphone call and said, well, what's your mom going to do or maybe she even said, what are you going to do? Because it was speaker. What are you going to do if Matt shows up at your house? And because David is the one who was so encouraging for me to have a gun in the house, I was almost flippant about it and said, well, I've got a gun. I can protect myself. Because that's what you
need a man in the house.
Advocated, is having a gun for protection.
David?
Yes.
Carolyn's husband?
Yes.
And did you search gun issues?
Yeah, because then his follow-up question was, did you register the gun? And I remember when I bought it from my friend.
A male friend.
I asked him, I said, is there anything I need
Asked him, she said.
To file paperwork for
and he said.
purchase? And he said, no, you don't have to.
Bought it from her friend.
But then in that moment, when
It's always
I was
a guy
talking
friend.
to Carolyn and Dave was saying, did you register it? I went and researched the law because I didn't know what the law was, and if I might have missed a huge step, and it came up during conversation, so I looked it up.
That was before Matt even came out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember searching American Fork Cemetery and Alpine Cemetery on June 27th?
Yes.
Was that?
Because she's going hiking. All right, anyway. All right, that's going to be part one. But what did we learn on this episode? Lack of male leadership. When there's weak male leadership in a room, you will find chaos. And that's what you have here. You have a weak male leadership everywhere. Matt's not leading, and the women have no one to follow, so it's chaos. Number two is you don't believe a woman's story. Her mom got betrayed. The daughter who's causing all these problems is leading the narrative. And don't simp for these women who are causing their own problems. Don't associate with people who don't solve the unlucky and the misfortunate often draw it upon themselves. And what? They will draw it upon you. And we're seeing that effect with mom, right? And women are reputation and image managers because of what? Rule number 5. Reputation. It is the cornerstone of power. Guard it with your life. And women know this. And what her daughter is doing is ripping this reputation of her husband. And you need to know this, gentlemen, is she's probably ripping it with your family. And when your woman is acting like this and is being unwilling to do things for you, and is being unfaithful to you, and is being untruthful to you, that you are so far behind the 8 ball, you need to get out. You cannot stay in relationships like this. You have to get out. Maybe she can earn her way back. Maybe you can get some respect back later on, but you have to get out of that relationship, okay? But this is what we learn from these things. Have emotional control, but you cannot stay in relationships in which you are being disrespected, in which you are not loved, because the consequences are grave in nature. Okay, this man lost his life over this by not being able to manage this situation, by taking disrespect, by getting lured into a trap by his wife, who had no respect for him, who had no love for him. And when that happens, they just have no F forgiven. The only thing she thought about was herself. Okay, we can't let this happen. Can't. Okay, and I want to prevent this in other relationships that men have. Okay. And that's why I do these, because when you don't understand the disrespect that women have for men, when you don't understand when it's happening, that's when things happen. And it doesn't happen when you're leading. Any man that allows a woman to lead, she will lead you to your death or to your prison sentence, just like her brother has, and just like her mom might get. you know, and she gets a deal of the century by flipping on them and also betraying them once again. Women, she's looking out for herself once again. Okay? Look out for yourself first, guys. And ladies, you know, you two in your relationship, but guys, I talk to guys. Guys, you have to look out for yourself first. Your interests first. Trust, but always verify. Okay? Don't just take a woman's word. Have you ever heard a woman of her word? You haven't. All right, we'll leave it there.